Hi guys, and welcome to FORGE WRIGHT. Thanks for dropping in. If you hadn't seen the channel before, my name's Andy. The channel's based around learning to become a blacksmith, starting as an absolute beginner. I cover setting up the forge, making the tools required to start smithing, learning basic techniques, and developing your skills. I also make metal fabrication videos, which can be very helpful when trying to build some of the tools and equipment that you'll need to use in the workshop. So, let's roll the intro and get started on today's video.
Sorry about the noise from the gas forge, but the intention here is to put an offset in, so I'm using a plate. I'm going to hold the piece down once it's hot with the hold fast. I'll then get my flatter, which is really the only type of set hammer that I've got. I'll place it there, hit on it, which will hopefully put a bend in here, and try and to keep that remaining as flat as possible. I know it'll just bend down there at first, but I'm hoping to get this flat and in line with this nib section, and that'll put my offset in. I'll do that on both of them and hopefully they'll line up. This may be a little bit thick, so I might not have to go all the way down. Just using that as a demonstration piece. That'll be the second one that I do. So that goes like that. Put that on there. Pull that back to about there. It's a bit sharp. That should have a radius on it. That's a mistake. I'm going to clean up this here, put some edges, some radiused edges on there so it doesn't put those marks in it. As you can see now, it's got a much smoother edge there. When I put that in there, it won't put creases into that, hopefully. Alright, we'll try this one. With that up. That about there. Hold him down. That might be a bit much, but I can always flatten that out. Right, we'll try this one again now. Just finish him off. I think what I might be doing is flattening that out a bit. So, yes, that's the one I flattened out a bit. I'm going to heat them both up. And that little mark there is from when I did it with the flatter before I'd put any radius on the flatter, and I'm not impressed with the way that turned out, but that's all right. It'll be in there. It'll be reasonably hidden. I'm going to put my touch mark in both of them. So then I'll start straightening this out. So that's bent, that one has bent around as I've been flattening that back out a bit. So just a bit of adjustment to do and we should call it pretty well done. Righto, got my touch mark on there. Not sure if you can see it or not, but yeah, it's come out alright. Make a rivet afterwards. So I'll nut and bolt it together. Don't get too close to that with my fingers, because she's still pretty warm. Just let it go lightly, and then just try and while it's still warm. Bit of a twist in that one, so I'll get that out afterwards. And I'll put that in the vise. I know you can't see it, so sorry. Bend those into shape a little bit better. So the handles kind of line up, especially for a left-handed grip. The bottom one there is a little bit further over than the top one, which means you can get your thumb in there nicely. I like the way that sits. Once she's riveted together, I'll do the final touch-ups. That can probably go down there a little bit. That looks like it's lining up pretty well. They are not together, but they'll be like that when they're holding a blank. This one's probably a little bit closed, so I might just open that one a little bit, tad more. Better. Not bad. They look like they line up pretty well, I believe. Good enough for my build anyway. Once I get them riveted, I shall get a bit of stock in there and form them up to hold the 40 to 50 mil stock and still have a good width on here. That's way too close together for, that's a good hand position. Right, just going to try and put a little groove in there in the appropriate position. Right, hopefully they will come together quite well. I'll touch them up with a file and hopefully they'll be good to go. Right, I think it's time to actually take that bolt out and put a rivet in. Let's see if we can get that sorted. Right, so the idea now is that I take the rivet, heat the whole thing up, drop it onto there, and then start peening the top over. Right, it's a good starting point. Just loosen that up a bit so I can then get it to heat up again and do another go at it. I know it's not going to fall out now. It's 40 mil. That's 50 mil. So, not too bad. I'm a bit clumsy with them. Gotta learn how to do it with my left hand. Just opening them up a little bit for the wider grip is a bit harder. Okay, so here is the finished product. Don't think I'm going to need to put the little whips in the end as I was talking about earlier on. I might just leave them straight. I can always whack it in later if I think it's necessary. But I rarely use a tong clip as I haven't made any yet. So when I do make them, I'll see if they're necessary. So they work pretty well. I shall just grab the tongs and grab onto that bit of stock there. Pull that out there. Grab it on corner to corner. As you can see, that works very well as also. Good strong grip from there to there with those little teeth, little V's in there. That generally will be used that way. Okay, well, there you go. Thanks for watching Forge Right, and I'm very pleased with how these hammer tongs turned out. As I say, they stiffen out up a little bit on the outside there, but you're rarely using them that wide apart, so as soon as you get to there, they loosen up quite nicely, and once they've been worked a little bit, they will loosen up quite well. So I think we'll do a very good job. Thank you, Dan Moss, for putting up the video that showed me how to make these tongs. Really appreciate it, and love the way they work and the method that you taught in order to make them. I probably didn't follow it word for word, but as best as I could remember and as best as I could do. Okay, so the next time I make a video, it will be using this blank here to make a ball peen hammer. It is 40 mil by 50 mil. I'm probably going to try and square it up first thing, so I'll get it hot, put it up on the 50 and try and forge it down to be pretty well 45 by 45 and round her up a bit and punch the eye and so on and so forth, and see if I can get some sort of anti-hammer, Forge Right hammer. Okay, thanks for watching again. If you haven't subscribed, do so. If you liked the video, give it the thumbs up and share it with your friends. Bye for now.